We're back.
We back.
And we are in for one hell of a recording session. So let's just fucking jump into it. Leave a like, hype, all that shit. Comment, subscribe, all that. We're back. And alright, let's start it. Fuck it. Roman comes out and says, I have some news for tonight's main event. So let's just get this over with. Carmelo Hayes, come on out here. Melo makes his way to the ring and says, what's this about? Glad you asked, kid. Eric told me that tonight we will go one on one. The winner is going to head to the Royal Rumble and challenge Adam Cole for his WWE Championship. Melo has a smile on his face and says, are you serious? Let's go, man. You're going down tonight, man. And I am heading to the Rumble to enjoy beating the hell out of that clown. Don't get ahead of yourself, kid. In case you don't remember who I am, I'm Roman Reigns. Last year, I held every title that a man can hold on this brand. I main evented Raw every week for 3 months. I've beaten bigger men than you, and I've beaten faster. Kid, I'm in God mode. This is it. This is the biggest fight of your life. And to me, this is just another Monday. You're in God mode, huh? Were you in God mode when I won the tag titles off you? You know what I'm talking about. When you got pinned by JD? And what happened in the rematch, huh? I pinned your ass to take those titles back, and tonight I'm pinning your ass to crush your dreams again. Believe that. Roman leaves the ring. And then we get our first match of the night. We're going into the final stretch. Becky hits a manhandle slam in a steel cage. This is a steel cage match. I just got to double check. All right, just make sure everyone knows. Steel cage match. Becky hits a manhandle slam, cover, 1, 2, kick out. She starts freaking out about it. And then she realizes she doesn't have to pin Julia to win. She could climb the cage and escape. So she starts the long climb up. She gets to the top when Julia starts getting to her feet. Becky starts climbing down. Julia quickly climbs to the top and starts pulling Becky up by her hair. Becky has no choice but to climb back up. Julia throws a punch. Becky throws one. Julia throws one. Becky throws one. Julia goes for it again. Becky ducks, grabs Julia by the head, and smashes it against the top of the cage. Then she does it again. Becky starts to stand on the cage, and she picks up Julia. She gets Julia into a manhandle slam position. Julia gets out of it and hits Becky with a headbutt. Becky falls into a sitting position at the top of the cage. Julia hits an Arrivederci knee. She picks up Becky and puts her into Northern Lights bomb position, and she hits it off the top of the cage. Julia covers Becky. 1, 2, 3. Julia picks up the cover. After we show a few replays, Julia starts celebrating in the ring. When her celebration gets cut short, as we hear a familiar theme song, "This is my brutality!" Rhea Ripley comes down to the ring. The last time we saw her was at Bad Blood, where Julia beat her to advance to the Queen of the Ring finals. Ripley has a mic in her hand and says, next week, rematch. Julia just smiles and nods. Alright. Then Adam Cole is backstage when he finds me and says, you're an asshole. Me and the boys should be in Tahiti right now. But fine, you want me to work? I'll work. Now give me your balls. I'm entering the Rumble. Are you serious? You're already champion. Why do you need more on your plate? Because I'm the best in the world. I just beat CM Punk. So that title is mine. Have you not been paying attention to your own programming? Okay. And then this match, number one contenders qualifier match. There's another match after this qualifier, so Bailey wins for the world title qualifier. And backstage, Mello is getting ready for his match, doing push-ups in the hallway. When he sees something off camera, he stops and stands, and into frame walks Paul Heyman. Heyman looks at him for a second, then he nods and walks away. Mello turns to watch him walk away, and he's confused as to what that was all about, but he just shrugs it off and continues his workout. We get this tag match. Pete picks up the victory once again for New Catch Republic. After the match, Redragon sneak up behind NCR and beat them down ahead of their title defense next week. Then I'm in my office. Bianca comes in and says, "Next week, I need Jada in a match one more time. This can't end the way it did." What? No. You are one of my best performers. I can't just let you destroy your body for petty beef. Well, 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 look what the cat dragged in, Jada says as she walks into the room. When am I gonna get another match against her? As I was just telling Bianca, never. You two are done. Jada, you are one of my brightest prospects. I can't let you risk your future for this. Oh, please. We all know you're just protecting Bianca from getting hurt by me. Oh, me getting hurt by you, huh? Well, let me tell you something. And then they just start yelling at each other, uh, and over each other simultaneously until I finally yell and I say, "Enough! You two have done nothing. You two have done enough to each other. I see something in you both. You want to be in another match together? Fine. Next week, tag match: the Meta Girls versus you two. What the hell, man? I don't want to team with Jada. Yeah, who the hell wants to team up with Bianca? I know for a fact Jade Cargill didn't. Oh, you bitch. Don't you dare bring that up. Stop arguing! You two know I take this seriously. You know I have a mind for professional wrestling. I see something here. Just trust me, okay? Oh, and while you're at it here, please select your numbers for the Rumble. Bianca and Jada say fine as they get their numbers and walk out one at a time. This is the number one contenders qualifier match as well, this triple threat. And Stephanie Vaquer advances. After the match, Bailey is backstage with Steph and Lola. Bailey is celebrating that they both got moved on to the finals of the number one contenders match. We did it, Steph. Me and you and Jordan. Why is it always her? All right, Steph, we can make this about us only. We have to take out Jordan one more time. What do you have planned? I'm glad you asked. Then we cut away, and we're here in our main event. Towards the end, Roman goes for a spear. Mello jumps over it. Roman lands face first into a turnbuckle. Mello rolls him up. 1, 2, kick out. Mello sees Roman getting up. He springboards off the middle rope and he gets hit with a Superman punch. Roman lines up in the corner for a spear. He goes for it. Mello once again jumps over it. Roman sees it coming, however, and picks Mello out of the sky and hits him with a crucifix powerbomb. Cover. 1, 2, kick out. Mello starts crawling to the apron. Roman sees him and he walks to the outside and he's in perfect position. He rushes him while he's on the apron and he hits a drive-by. He starts chatting to the crowd, saying that this one is over. He gets into the ring. He starts lining up Mello for a spear. Then he sees something. The camera pans and we see Heyman on the apron. The ref goes up to him and tells him to get off the apron. Roman's confused, and from behind, CM Punk comes out and hits him with a low blow. He picks up Roman and hits him with a GTS, and then Punk leaves the ring through the crowd. Mello crawls for the cover. Heyman gets off the apron. The ref counts. 1, 2, 3. Here is your winner and the new number one contender, Carmelo Hayes. And that is Raw.
Alrighty then. We're back. Welcome to SmackDown. This is the January Week 1 episode. This is New Year's Revolution, our second week on the build towards the Royal Rumble.
Woo!
Um, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, hype the video, comment down below. I think I already said that. Just whatever you can do, do it. Um, with that said, let's get into the show tonight. We see AJ Styles and Ethan Page getting into the arena on a literal horse and chariot. Both men step out and are immediately confronted by Big E. Big E welcomes AJ and Ethan to the show tonight, and Big E takes a moment to take in what AJ and Page just arrived in. Big E says, "Who pays for this stuff?" AJ says, "That's not important." Big E says, "Well, then, anyways, look. Tonight is a big TV special as it is New Year's Revolution. So I was wanted to give the fans a big main event tonight." AJ says, "Cool. What does that have to do with me, though?" Big E says, "Well, the main event tonight will be you defending your World Heavyweight Championship." AJ is upset with this, and then Cody enters the frame. Cody says, "Did you say there's a world title match tonight?" Big E says, "Don't worry, Cody. Your match at Royal Rumble is still set. All AJ has to do is win tonight, and your match will go on with no changes." AJ asks, "Well, who is my opponent then?" Big E then walks off screen and comes back in with a big wheel with everyone's name on it, outside of AJ's and Cody's. Big E says, "How about we let Ethan spin the wheel to find out who you're facing in the main event tonight?" AJ gives a side eye to Ethan. Ethan just steps up and spins the wheel. The wheel spins and spins and spins and slowly lands its way onto Keith Lee. AJ seems confused and says, "Has he even wrestled this year?" Big E says, "Nope, but that's the beauty of the wheel," and walks off. We then head down to the ring for Javon Evans versus Trick Williams. This is a matchup in the U.S. title tournament. Trick Williams picks up the win. We then see Swerve Strickland is in the locker room when Keith Lee enters the room. Swerve says, "Well, it looks like you got yourself quite the debut match here tonight." He says, "Yeah, honestly, I was expecting to be more by your side and ease my way back into the things, but hey, when opportunity knocks, you gotta answer the door." Swerve says, "Look, I already know that Phenomenal Egos would do anything to retain their belts, so to make sure nothing happens, I'm going to be out there at ringside with you tonight." Keith Lee says he appreciates it. Mercedes is then walking around with Team Bad backstage when they get called into Big E's office. Big E says, "Look, just like I told AJ earlier tonight, this is a big show, and I want to give the fans a night they can remember. So I brought you here to discuss who is defending their title or titles tonight." Mercedes says, "What do you mean?" Big E says, "Well, I already have AJ defending his title, and I was wanting another title match on the show. So it's either going to be you, Mercedes, defending your women's title, or it can be Team Bad defending their women's tag titles. I was going to let you guys choose, and I was going to let you guys choose." Mercedes looks back at Team Bad, and Naomi says, "There's no need to worry, Mercedes. We'll beat whoever Big E puts in our way." Big E says, "Well, if that's the case," and steps out for a moment and pulls in yet another wheel with all the women's tag teams on it, and says, "If one of you would like to do the honors." Mercedes spins it, and the wheel eventually lands on Liv and Raquel. Big E says he'll notify Liv and Raquel about their title match later tonight. We then head back down to the ring. Omos versus Ethan Page, another match in the U.S. title tournament. Omos picks up the win. Uh, Asuka and Kairi then confront Dakota backstage and speak to her about helping Asuka win the other week. Dakota says it wasn't what it looked like. She says she was trying to make things right again. When they were all together, things were great. They had gold and success and got to travel the world doing it. Then she made a dumb mistake by picking sides. Kairi tries to console Dakota, but Asuka hits her hand with the fan. Asuka says, "Come on, Kairi, we don't deal with the weak." And they walk away. Liv and Raquel then enter Big E's office and speak to him about the tag match coming up next for the women's tag titles. Big E also has a tumbler in his office and says, "Since you girls are here, how about drawing some numbers for the Royal Rumble?" They do that, both seem pleased with their numbers, and head down to the ring. We then have Liv and Raquel taking on Team Bad for the women's tag team championships. This match is surprisingly competitive. Liv and Raquel are formidable opponents, but on such short notice, they're taking it to the champs. Team Bad are taken aback a bit by the competitive nature of the match, but the deeper we get, the more it seems like Team Bad get into their element. We see Naomi nail Liv with a rear view and tag into Mina, who goes up top and connects with a splash. She covers Liv. One, two. Raquel comes in just in time to break up the pin. Naomi then comes back in and starts clubbing away at Raquel and manages to clubbing away at Raquel, who manages to shove Naomi off of her, but Tamina then joins in on the action. Raquel tries her best to fight back and manages to shove off both Naomi and Tamina. She then nails Naomi with a massive big boot that causes Naomi to roll out. Once she turns around, though, she gets caught with a spear from Tamina. This causes Raquel to roll out of the ring, and Tamina gets up using the ropes. As she is getting up, she turns to face towards Liv, and Liv comes rushing in and connects with an Oblivion off of the ropes. Liv then covers Tamina. One, two, three. Liv and Raquel celebrate winning the tag team championships off of Team Bad. You have new women's tag team champions. We then see a vignette show of Solo Sikoa and Bloodline Wolfpack speaking about the U.S. title tournament. Solo says this tournament is not to see who's going to face Jacob. No, this tournament is for who's going to be the next victim of Jacob Fatu. You may complain about how often the belt is defended, but trust me, that is not our fault. When a man like Jacob is champion, it is hard to find people who want that conflict. So best of luck for the rest of the tournament because all of you are going to need it. Charlotte and Chemical X then enter Biggie's office and ask about how the investigation has been going. Biggie says it is still going on and there are no results as of yet, but since you girls are here, how about you draw some numbers for the Rumble? They all draw numbers and Charlotte does not seem pleased with hers. We then see the men's tag division is arguing in the locker room and says there's no clear answer last week. God won, but that's because Gable ran away from Cross. All make their claims for the belts, and Big E enters the room. He says, "Gentlemen, what is all this commotion?" All teams make their claim towards the tag belts, and Big E says, "Okay, okay, okay, I get it. Look, like it or not, Gorillas of Destiny did pick up the win last week. So how about next week one of you get the shot to face them? To decide that, how about Motor City, Lucha Bros, Street Profits, and New Day, all of you head down to that ring for a fatal four-way tornado tag match. The winner gets to face Gorillas of Destiny next week." Then we have this match. It's just an action-packed match for like 10 minutes, just spots all over the place. In the end, though, the Street Profits pick up the win, earning themselves a shot against Gorillas of Destiny next week. Keith Lee is then interviewed about facing AJ Styles up next for the World Heavyweight Championship. Keith says this is a huge opportunity for me, and I'm not going to act like it's not. AJ may be phenomenal. He may even be a king, the tag champion, the world heavyweight champion, but when that bell rings, none of that matters. It's just me and him, and he's going to have to beat me if he wants to retain that title. We then move into the main event, Keith Lee versus AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight Championship. Keith Lee starts the match hot. He throws AJ around the ring and looks like he's never taken any time off. AJ, after being thrown around for a bit, starts to pick his spots a little bit more. As the match goes on, AJ starts to gain control, and Keith having so much time off is starting to show the deeper we get. We then see AJ go for and connect with a phenomenal forearm. He pins Lee. One, two. Swerve places Lee's foot on the rope. Ethan Page then limps his way around the ring and gets into Swerve's face. And, um, and at the same time, AJ argues down to Swerve. As he turns around, Lee pops AJ up and spear bombs AJ down to the mat. He goes for the cover. One, two, kick out. Lee gathers himself quickly and waits for AJ to get up. Once he does, he goes for the Big Bang Catastrophe, but AJ manages to slide out of it and gets Lee into the calf crusher. Lee tries to fight his way towards the ropes, but is unable to endure the pain and has to tap out. AJ rolls out of the ring and Ethan stands at his side as Swerve helps Lee back to his feet. AJ Styles retains his World Heavyweight Championship. And that is SmackDown.
I laughed when you said Big Show in the beginning. That shit made me
Oh,
laugh.
we're past the big shows. Um, yeah, that was genuinely. I put all the names onto a wheel and just spun them both times.
That's funny.